Welcome back to another episode of the Blind Grace Podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, Miss Jennifer Goalball, better known as Coach. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, thank you for having me, LaRonda.
Of course.
So I teach and coach at Louisiana School for the Visually Impaired. Been there for 9 years now. And I mostly teach the little kids, elementary. But I coach this year. We had goalball. We are doing track and field, and we have cheer and wrestling.
Okay.
Also. But so I'm involved in sports and mostly teaching physical education.
Okay. So as you know, most of what we do here is really just educating the public on a little bit how things work for our people who are visually impaired. I know that you mentioned about 4 different sports. I heard goalball, I heard track and field, I heard wrestling, and I heard cheerleading, correct? Yes. So we're going to go ahead and start little and go big, right?
Okay.
I know what goalball is. I know the people probably don't know what goalball is.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll probably circle back around the goalball, but let's start with something that they do know, right? So a track and field or a wrestling or a cheer, how do you adapt something like that? Is adaptation even necessary for a person who's visually impaired?
Well, for wrestling, for example, the way that works in a visually impaired and blind environment is there's always contact.
Okay.
You'll notice during a wrestling match, the only time that they really will modify things is they'll immediately stop the match when contact is lost. But other than that, everything is the same.
So all the rules, points, like the way points are gotten, all that's exactly the same.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Now, I don't know a lot about wrestling, but that's what I've learned.
Okay. It's exciting to watch. We had one 2 months ago, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's very exciting to watch. Nerve-wracking.
It is.
But very exciting to watch. That's for sure.
It's very fast-paced.
Yes.
The kids really seem to enjoy it. Again, it's another thing that they're able to be physically active with and, without tons of modifications, able to successfully do.
I know that's a really big thing, something that me and another person who works in the field have discussed before is how people who are visually impaired live a very sedentary life, so just finding ways to keep our kids active, to keep them healthy so they can live long, So tell us a little bit about track. I know I was a little involved last year,
Yeah, we're going to talk about coaching a little bit later,
not doing it, but, keep hope alive, Jesse. Keep hope alive,
Yes, definitely. Great instincts. Track is another sport that when I first came in, it was a little bit of a struggle. Our kids, they didn't really want to run. Track was boring. But just watched it over the past years, and kids are just really getting into it and taking it serious. And while track is an individual sport and a team sport combined, it can be both. So they're really getting to experience both ends of that. I am the girls track coach.
Okay.
And so we had, I think, 5 girls last year, and that's a pretty big team for us. 11 to 12-ish girls is a full team for us, but we had 5 and we're hoping to have 7 this year.
Okay.
That's big. So all kind of different events. And the way track works for SCASB, that's our competition that we go to this year. It's going to be here in Baton Rouge at our school. You have Class A and Class B. So to divide into 2 different sections. So you have your Class A, those are our kids who are, completely blind or can't really hold a lane and run on their own. All of those kids will compete under the blindfold.
Okay.
So the Class B, or BC is also called, those kids can run on their own. They won't need the aid of a guide runner or, whatever competition. So the competition is a little different activities that they can compete in. But other than that, it's just like a real track meet. I mean, we have all of the different events. We have the high jump. We don't do pole vault, but we have high jump. We have long jump, running long jump. For Class A, we do with standing long jump. They don't run, but they will stand right at the edge of the pit and jump. So we make modifications based on what class they're in. And then field events, shot put. We don't do discus, not yet. I'm trying to get it at.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we do all of our running events. They run the 100, We run the 200, 400, 800 mile. And then we run something called a relay for class. It's a combined. So you have two-sided and then two non-sided individuals. Like think of it as a shuttle run. A lot of kids would do that in PE in school. It's a lot like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, really have seen the program grow, and the kids just really are interested in it, and that just makes us so happy.
Right. I feel like interest level for anything, especially when you're working with kids, because their interest level is not always there, can make anything more enjoyable for sure. So if I remember correctly, you had somebody make it to regionals last year, correct? Or was it state?
State.
State, my bad.
We actually both. We had a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was that? I mean, if you had to think about like how that was different even for you as a coach training kids to do SCASB versus doing like a regional or a state, how does that change the routine of what you normally do?
Well, we train the same way.
Okay.
I train with always the thought that we're going to state.
Hey, I like it.
That's the coach in me. And at the beginning of the year, I knew we were going to state. Based on what she was throwing last year, shot put, went out there at the beginning, first practice, measured out the line, said, this is what we need to get. And every day we worked for that. And, SCASB, regional, state, it didn't matter. We were just training the same way, like we were going to make it. And she did,
First of all, I love that. I think that, first of all, it teaches our kids to be goal oriented and to know like if this is the goal, this is what we're always working for, regardless of who we're competing against, because facts are you are your own biggest competition.
Oh, yeah.
So knowing that, I absolutely love. Big ups to you on that one, Coach.
Thank you.
Love that. Love that one.
Like I said, you can put that out there, but the kid has to grab it and run with it, and so that's what happened. I mean, she knew, and she worked, and we worked, and the whole team knew, and it helps because when you had a girl the previous year qualify, so something that they had never really experienced before, making it to state, getting to go right there to LSU, compete, with all of those kids, and then it just became a thing where, oh, I want to go. You went, I want to go. So it's a team sport, it's an individual sport, and like I said, we train for the end game every year.
So the person that qualified last year, was that the first person to ever?
Like I said, I've been at the school 9 years now. I believe it was my first or second year there. I had a girl qualify in triple jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this was our third time for girls going to the state tournament.
That's what's up. I think it's one of those things that it can be. I hate to use the word inspiring because I feel like we use that word so willy-nilly now, but like,
I mean,
it kind of is, right? Like, there's no better word that it can be very inspiring for anyone watching that situation and how it comes up and how oftentimes the world will say you can't because of a disability, because of skin color, because of anything, right? Yeah. The world will always tell you what you can't do. But to be able to have these kids out here every day challenging that idea, where it's like, you said I can't, bet, watch me.
Yeah.
Watch me. So I love the fact that you are consistently training with not just like, oh, well, maybe we might do this, right? Training the thought of this is what we need to qualify. This is what we're always aiming for because qualification is our goal. So I absolutely love that. So, Coach, I know you talked to us about like some of the sports that you coach. Talk to us a little bit about like what your day-to-day looks like as far as working with some of the littles to be able to get them the skills that they need. What is your favorite thing that you've done thus far?
Oh, wow. I think more than anything, it's the culture that we're building, and it's every single day. First thing they're gonna ask me, "What are we doing today, Coach? What are we doing today?" Yes. And I mean, I can't wait to hear that in the morning. Okay, and right now is we playing goalball today, Coach. We're gonna play goalball. I mean, as soon as they see me in the cafeteria, that's the question that the littles are asking, and the older kids now. I mean, you can find them at recess. They out there on the concrete. I mean, I had to stop them and like, you're gonna hurt yourself, okay? We're not going to the infirmary. Let's be smart about this. But they are literally on a little bitty sidewalk playing goalball. And it's seeing those things, not just goalball, but we've played some beep kickball, but it's seeing the things that we're bringing. Right now they play a game called under the net volleyball, which is not a real sport, okay? The way we play, but they think it is, and they're ready to compete in it. So that's my favorite thing. It's like I see them from pre-K. That's when I get them. And, you know, when they can't gallop yet, they can't skip yet, you know, what is goalball? They don't know yet. And so teaching them these things and just watching them come up, you know, I've got a girl who, you know, when I got there, she was in kindergarten and now she's on my goalball team. And she didn't know about the sport. She didn't think she could play, you know, but was out there and just tearing it up and loving it. So that's my thing. That's my favorite thing. Just watching them grow, being there to experience that and helping them grow, you know. And then it doesn't hurt that I love it too.
That part.
You know, it's just you feel the passion when you hear me talk about it. I mean, sometimes the kids are like, Coach, I mean, you talking about goalball again? Like, for real? And but then they telling their friends about it. So, and the more people that we tell and get it out there, the more people are going to know.
Yes.
Because right now it's like, wait, you coach what?
Right.
You work where? Oh, you know, so no, they at the desk go.
Yes.
You know, I mean, so just getting it out there and educating anyone who will listen.
So can you tell us what goalball is?
Okay. So it's really hard to explain. The best thing to do is to get online and watch a game. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Once you see it, you're not gonna forget it.
Okay.
And because when you try to explain it to someone, they just give you that crazy look, like, you do what? You know. But it's basically a sport that was, you know, created for the blind after World War II. The veterans who came back who were blind or visually impaired, looking for a way to keep them active, to help them with rehabilitation, a team sport. You know, and so it's a 3-on-3 match. Everyone wears a blindfold in the game, so that it's completely fair. And think of it as the court is about the size of a volleyball court. There's goals on each end. And like in soccer, you have one goalie.
Right.
In goalball, you have 3 on each end. And you're trying to roll this ball that's about the size of a basketball, weighs about 3 pounds or so, has bells in it. You're under the blindfold. You are trying to roll that ball down to the other side and get it past the defenders to score in that goal at speeds of around 30, 40 miles an hour. Just, you know, at top even more than that.
Yes.
But yeah, just rolling the ball as hard as you can to try to get it past those defenders. When you get possession of the ball, bam, you're now on offense. You're trying to roll it back to the other team. So again, it's something that anyone can play. You put some blindfolds on, you know, but it is a sport specifically created for the blind and visually impaired. And I mean, our kids are loving it.
Yes.
You know, it was our first year to go to youth nationals.
Awesome.
That's the shirt I'm wearing today. And yeah, they loved it. It was our first real chance to be in a tournament like that. I mean, all day long we're playing goalball. So very, very excited and looking forward to the future of it and continuing to grow.
For sure. Like she said, y'all, it is a little hard to explain. Feel free to get online and Google it, watch a game, try to start playing with your kids. You know, we can all make it a big team thing. It's awesome. It's so much fun to play. It is extremely competitive though. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
So Coach, I know we've talked about you coaching, you teaching, but we also had a very unique experience this past September.
Yeah.
All right. We went to space camp.
I know. You ready to go back?
I'm not saying all that, you know.
I'm always ready.
I know that's the goal, right? But I'm not saying that I'm ready to hop back in the saddle on that one yet. I'm not sure. But so correct me if I'm wrong, it's SkyViz. SkyViz. Space camp for interested visually impaired students. It is a 1-week program. About how many kids would you say was that this year?
Oh gosh. I bet it was over 100 kids this year.
So over 100 kids. Okay, 125, all visually impaired from all over the world.
All over the world.
So our kids had the opportunity to experience other cultures, other languages, other foods, right? I think it was an awesome opportunity just for them to put themselves out there. So many of them have like social anxiety and will not talk to people they don't know, and being forced not only to talk to them, but work with them really changed the game for them, I would say.
Oh, definitely. It's always a great experience for our kids. It's it's not just the program, it's the entire experience from the traveling there, the O&M skills that are involved in the program. You know, we do 2 different programs, Aviation Challenge and Space Camp. This was our first chance to have someone on the Space Camp side, but just an excellent program, not just for, you know, like I said, what they do there at Space Camps, but across the board, the socialization, like you said, meeting everyone from other countries, and then the friendship.
Yes.
I mean, because every time we walk, oh, I have this friend, you know, it's again hard to describe what you truly take away from that, you know. And then as a teacher going, you know, you have such a great networking opportunity because you're surrounded by O&Ms, you know, and other teachers, TBIs, and you know, there's always educational experiences there that can happen too.
1,000%, 1,000%. I think the biggest thing that I took away from it is knowing that, like, and this is gonna sound like kind of like self-serving in a sense, but like knowing that the work that I do actually does something. Yeah. As you know, oftentimes I am still seeing my kids in known environments, so they're not always putting the skills that they have on display. So being able to put them in this totally new environment, to be able to see, okay, I'm not around here putting water on a plant. I just put water on a plant that's not growing, you know. Yeah. So that was really, really good to see some of them like challenge those fears that they had and things that they thought they couldn't do. You know, with the rock climbing wall, the paper pole, all that was really awesome. We even got a really cool story out of it. Merch coming to y'all because of it, you know.
Yeah, it's really an inspiring experience. Yes, it really is. I cry, you know, 3 or 4 times every space. I mean, I'm telling you, it's always that experience and those. And again, you got some good stories, takeaways?
Very much so, very much so.
Always.
Well, Coach, first of all, to say thank you for, you know, coming out, taking your time to come and talk to us. We are very thankful. Because of our Space Camp experience, y'all, we do have some new community grace words dropping out called the Side Guide. On the back of it is a big graphic where it looks like someone with visual impairment is being guided by someone else and they're using a cane. So be on the lookout for that. The link to purchase that shirt will be below, as well as some photos for you guys to be able to see what that looks like. Thank you again, Coach, for coming out. It was truly a pleasure to have you, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Thanks.